Yo, it's your boy Skinny from the 9, Big Skinny, not the mini. Back at y'all another video. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Let's get right into it. So, there's been 2 days of the K-Flock trial. I don't know if you guys saw my other video. Go check it out. I gave my predictions on what I thought would happen in the K-Flock trial. I said he'll probably get manslaughter, maybe 10 years plus time served. But that's for the other video. Right now, the trial started. It's been 2 days. First day, they chose jury. That's normal. For those of you who don't know what a jury is basically when you go to trial, basically your fate is in the hand of like 12 jurors, basically like 12 middle-class people who are going to hear both sides of the story of what happened in your crime that you're charged with. And then they basically, their fate is in their hands. Every jury has to come to the same decision. Okay, so if there's 12 jurors, if 11 say guilty and 1 says not guilty, it's a whole retrial and stuff like that. That's just a quick, for those of you guys who don't, that's a quick jury sum up for those of you guys that don't know nothing about trial. Now, they started the trial and they got 3 witnesses. Now, they don't have an eyewitness, so that actually helps K-Flock in this situation. An eyewitness would be somebody who saw K-Flock shoot this man, right? Right now they got 3 witnesses, and one of the witnesses was the police officer who responded to the call, who came on the scene. That's normal, you know. They're always gonna that doesn't really mean nothing, you know. He's gonna give his side of what he saw after the crime was committed, right? That really doesn't hold no weight. That's normal. That's when you go to trial, you always gonna have the officer there, the officer who was first responder, right? Then they got another witness who was the brother of the man that got killed, right? And from what I read on all the court documents, they're saying that he was OY, which is allegedly the rival gang to K-Flock, right? To the DOAs, right? And that right there, like, that's foul. You know, that's not the street code been broken right there. That shit just got broken at that moment, because just because your brother got killed, I understand, but you're supposed to hold this shit up to the streets, bro. You know, you're not supposed to go in there and testify against a rival op. You know, like, you're just not supposed to. Like, that's not gangster. That's not respected. That's not what you're supposed to do, right? You're not supposed to want to see the op in jail. You're supposed to want to kill the op, right? But basically, the brother basically testified that that he was at the barbershop with his brother and that K-Flock was the aggressor. Now, they're doing this because obviously K-Flock's defense is that he retaliated in self-defense. So when you have a witness who was there with the victim before he got killed, and that witness is able to say that K-Flock was the aggressor, then your whole self-defense defense falls apart, right? But that still isn't really good enough, because at the end of the day, that's hearsay, right? You can't convict somebody, or you can't give a character you can't give a witness to somebody's character off hearsay, right? You don't get convictions off hearsay. That's all hearsay. So that, like, it hurts K-Flock, but it's not detrimental. It doesn't seal his fate, right? Because at the end of the day, like, that's a bias. That person could be lying, and it's just bias. You know, you could just say that because that's your brother, and, you know, you feel bad that your brother died, right? And then they got an informant, some guy named Vance Brockington. I googled Vance Brockington. I couldn't really find nothing on him, but he's also being a witness, but he's not an eyewitness. He's basically a witness to the point where he's explaining the different gangs and the beefs, and, you know, he's really like just filling in missing puzzles in order to paint K-Flock as a gang member, as a somebody who is in rival beef, and this was a murder of furthering the gang, right? But once again, it's not an eyewitness. And these type of witnesses, like, they're just character witnesses. Like, they're just there to destroy K-Flock's character, his reputation that he's built. Like, if his defense was painting him as a rapper and somebody who beat the odds and got famous and got rich, and now, you know, he was minding his own business and they were trying to harm him, that's what those witnesses' job are. They're supposed to destroy his character so that the jury can maybe be influenced and view him as a gang member, you know, as somebody ruthless, who has no heart, who doesn't care. This is crazy. This trial is going to be pretty interesting. It's going to go on for quite some time. That was just the 2 days. That was just the first 2 days. It seems like K-Flock's lawyer is definitely trying to, like, not gain sympathy, but definitely show the court, like, that Kevin, you know, Kevin, I think that's his name, K-Flock Kevin, that, you know, he came from poverty and he beat the odds and he became a famous rapper and, you know, stuff like that. And it's funny, bro, because when we go back to his the victim's brother being murdered, it really brings me, like, to the situation with my brother. Like, that guy is a gang member. He's part of he's the ops, he's the rival, and he's snitching on K-Flock. Like, that's not valid. Like, and it's just funny because the whole situation with my brother, like, my brother got snitched on by gang members. You know? Like, my brother got snitched on by gang members. So it's funny when everybody wants to be super street, super tough, but then the moment somebody you love gets killed, or somebody that you were really close to, now nobody's tough no more. You know? I personally, like I said, bro, because the victim had a gun on him, I think that K-Flock has a strong chance on getting like manslaughter. Like, I don't see him going down for the murder. I really see him going down for manslaughter. And I don't think that I don't think there's an eyewitness. You know, that would be the only thing that could really, like, seal his fate. Like, if somebody saw him do that, like, then you're, like, kind of fucked. And like the weapon, but, like, you know, the weapon doesn't matter because he's already claiming that it's self-defense. You know, he's not claiming that this isn't a murder. You know, I mean, it's a murder, but it's not painted to the point where, like, they think that he was gonna, like, he was over there just causing havoc. Like, you saying self-defense, you're basically admitting that, yes, you did allegedly kill this person, right? So that right there, it doesn't really matter of, like, the weapon, right? The weapon doesn't matter if they found the weapon or not, or if they found the DNA, because you're kind of already, like, you know. And they also are very stern on him turning himself in. You know, the courts look at that like, yeah, you turned yourself in, but that don't really make or break nothing either. You know, all this just goes down to if the jury is gonna buy that this was self-defense, and the fact that when the jury knows that this person had a gun on them when they died, that right there is gonna swindle the jury into saying, well, you know, if he didn't do what he did, then he probably would have died. So, you know, I think, me personally, I think K-Flock got a strong case here. Free K-Flock. You know, like I said before, man, I feel like he never got the potential that he needed to shine, and this is definitely gonna boost him. And you know, he's solid, man. He didn't tell. So, you know, my flowers go to K-Flock, his family, Mama Flock, everybody involved in this shit. You know, my prayers go out to the family, man, that lost their son. Stay out the streets, man. That's all I can say. Stay out the streets. If you ain't ready, we'll come with it. Like, subscribe, share, comment, and let me know what you think of the whole trial. Let me know what you think of K-Flock's fate. What you think gonna happen to K-Flock. Peace.